Say you wanted to get together people from all around the world to work on a game. How would you set up the legal for that? And what's the best way? So there's a couple things going on here. So first of all, we see some activities that are purely voluntary. And so these are not legal entities. They are just groups of people who are not working in a commercial environment. And so something you might or might not know about me is before I was an attorney, I was a software developer and I worked for a company that released open source software. Open source software is software that is often given away for free with the permission to copy it and duplicate it and share with others. And so if you are creating something like open source, typically this is not done in a commercial setting. And you know how I talked a moment ago about accidental partnerships being bad? An accidental partnership is created when two people agree to go into business together. But when a group of people collaborate on something that is not commercial, then they don't have to worry about that accidental partnership happening. So generally speaking, you don't have to worry too much about this. However, it is not a bad idea for there to be a terms of service or other kind of agreement that clarifies what the nature of this community is. So that's one thing. Another thing that's going on here that people need to be wary of is that when you make a contribution of graphics, computer source code, other things of that nature, then you as a contributor might hold the copyright to your contributions. So for example, let's just say that you are an artist and you create an image of an elf holding a sword and you contribute it to the game development so that that elf can be in the game walking around. Well, you hold the copyright to that elf unless you have done something to transfer that copyright to the community group. And in that case, the community has a little bit of a challenge here because they might have these contributions from people all over the world, and each of those people has a copyright interest into this whole product. That can make distribution very, very difficult for these communities. And in fact, there is a open source video program called VLC, and the developers created an Apple iOS version for it. And some of the people in the community for VLC that contributed code objected. They didn't like Apple, so they objected to their contributions being included in the Apple version of the program. And so a copyright strike was placed against the company and the program was taken down. And in order to clear up the copyrights on this, the VLC community had to really spend a lot of work. So the way that we deal with this in communities of non-commercial situations or even commercial situations is that we create a special contract called a CLA, which is a contributor license agreement. And it basically says that if you want to give us your graphics, your sounds, your code, whatever, then you're going to give us a license to use it for whatever we want or for these purposes. And so a CLA is a good way to make sure that when you get people together to work on some kind of a collaborative, creative project, that the organizers of that project know what to do.